Hello everyone, I'm going to talk about our trip to the Blue Mountains in Sydney, Australia. The Blue Mountains is a beautiful landscape of rocky outcrops, native forests and waterfalls, and it sits right near the town of Katoomba. The Blue Mountains got its name from its blue haze which sits across the top of the landscape, and this is caused by the oil and dust which is released from the eucalyptus leaves, and it scatters the blue light across, causing the haze. We travelled to Australia from New Zealand on Jetstar and drove about 1 hour and 20 minutes inland to the Blue Mountains and stayed in Katoomba. It was a really beautiful town, and it had that really Australian colonial type vibe with the old buildings. Our first stop was Echo Point. It seemed to be the most popular, and it had a lot of visitors and a great viewpoint to the Three Sisters. The next day we went to Scenic World. We travelled down into the valley on the Scenic Railway, which is apparently the steepest train in the world, with about a 42-degree incline. It goes down like that. It's really quite steep, so you feel like it's kind of like a roller coaster. Anyway, you go down into the valley of these beautiful eucalyptus trees. We walked around the forest walkways throughout the day and also got to see some native birds. We also got to try some other modes of transport in Scenic World. We went on the Scenic Skyway, which was this sort of a capsule, like a train sort of carriage, which is held up in the air. It's over 200 metres in the air, and you get a great viewpoint of the forest down below, and that takes you across to Echo Point. We then walked back around down the hills towards Scenic World, and on the way we saw Katoomba Falls, and that is a really beautiful waterfall, so I'd recommend going to see that. The other transport we took in the Scenic World was the cable car, which was also held on like a wire and it just led down into Jameson's Valley. And then again we had a walk around the valley again, and then we caught the train back up to the top of Scenic World, where we had some really beautiful views. Other places we visited was Wentworth Lookout, and that had a view to Wentworth Falls. And also we saw Leura Cascades. And the last place we saw was Cahill's Lookout, which also had some really cool views. Here are some great guides that you can get when you're going on the walk. You can get these from the information centres. This is the Blue Mountains map, and it's just got a simple cover, but you open it up and it's got all the it's got all the places that you can visit, and it's got all the locations that you can go and view the Blue Mountains and get the best viewpoints. In the main towns are Katoomba, Leura, Wentworth, Glenbrook, Mount Victoria and Blackheath, and that's in the area. I think the biggest town is Katoomba, and that's where we stayed in a nice Airbnb. So there's the map, and just on the back it's got lots of advertising and information about the location. And then another really great brochure to pick up is at Katoomba at the Scenic World. So this is just for the Scenic World, and it has the map of Scenic World and all the different types of transport you can take. It's got the Scenic Railway, Scenic Skyway, Scenic Cable Car, and of course the walkway, all of which I talked about before. And also at Scenic World they have bathrooms and a restaurant cafe where you can buy some food and things. One other thing about the Scenic Walkway is there's no bathrooms down in the forest walkway, so you maybe go before you travel down into the valley. What else have we got? I've also got this really cool guide. They probably have a new one out by the time you get there. It's just called the Official Sydney Guide, and it is edition 39. It's from last year, 2019, which is when we travelled there, and probably they'll have a new one out, but this just has all the information about Sydney and a wee bit at the back about the Blue Mountains, so and other places that you can visit when you're in New South Wales. if you're ever in Sydney and you'd like to have a nice trip out into nature, I'd recommend you'd go and see the Blue Mountains. Thank you for watching our video. We'll have another video coming out soon. Bye!